Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has sworn in Edo State-born Benson Ojekere as the new head of service for the state. Ojekere was appointed the acting head of service in December following the retirement of the former head of service, Dr. Ngozi Obioma. Governor Otti, in a release by his press secretary, Ukoha Njoku Ukoha, said Ojekere's swearing in was a reaffirmation of his commitment to meritocracy. Part of the press statement read in quotes, "The governor applied his policy of, if you live in Abia, you are Abian, and demonstrated the true meaning of one Nigeria as captured in the letters of the national anthem. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand," the release stated. According to the release, Mr. Ojekere was a youth corps member from Edo State posted to Abia State in the late 90s, and from sheer hard work, he emerged as the best corps member and was given automatic employment in the state civil service. He was earlier appointed as a permanent secretary in 2023 by Governor Otti, and following his emergence as the best in the selection process for the head of service of the state, and was appointed to the position on merit and competence. That's the great one. On a norm, this shouldn't be a news. It shouldn't be making the news round. But you know, we live in Nigeria where tribalism and nepotism is the order of the day. So things like this needs to be exemplified. It needs to be trumpeted out so that people from far and wide can hear it clearly. We need to push this out and commend Alex Otti for this act of one Nigeria he has displayed so far, even though we know that many people, including the president, do not even believe in one Nigeria. All they believe is nepotism and tribalism. I can remember recently on social media, people were talking about how Igbos are tribalistic, how they grew up hearing about Igbos being tribalistic. Someone asked a question and he said, he's imagining what Igbo people will be telling their children about the Yoruba people. The truth about the fact is, Igbo people do not even care about Yoruba people. I grew up in the southeast and I know what is obtainable there. All through my stay in the southeast and even while I was in secondary school, I did not know or hear about the people called Yoruba except on textbooks. Of course, we were being taught about the three major languages in Nigeria, Igbo, Hausa and Yoruba. I did not know or experience tribalism in Igbo land. The only thing I heard then is Hausa Fulani people, how they have dominated the political landscape in Nigeria, and of course the Nigerian Civil War. And of course all this was happening during the presidency of President Olusegun Obasanjo, a Yoruba man. Never for once did I hear the Igbo people castigate Olusegun Obasanjo for being a Yoruba person. With all this happening, one would have expected that the politically sponsored tribal fight that is going on between the Igbos and the Yoruba would have been between the Igbos and the Hausa people. But when you look at it carefully, you will notice that there is no tribal fight between the Igbos and the Hausa people. It is just between the Igbos and the Yoruba, of which we know that it is politically motivated. Someone is sponsoring this tribal fight online. The tribal fight is so brief to the point that someone feels that Igbos are telling their children something negative about the Yoruba people. I live in Igbo land and I want to disabuse that statement. There was nothing of such in the Igbo land. The Igbos are free-spirited people. All they care about is to flourish in whatever they do, to go about their businesses. They want to thrive wherever they are. They don't care about who rule this country. They don't care about your tribe. They don't care about your religion. All they want is a working society, a working country that will benefit all and sundry. And of course, Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has shown that Igbo people do not care about tribalism. They do not care about nepotism. As long as you are qualified, you can do the job. They will consider you ahead of their own person. We all know the outrage that this would have generated if this has happened in a Yoruba land, maybe in Lagos State or in any part of the southwest. We all know how these Ronu boys would have carried their propaganda on social media and be asking the governor or whoever it is involved, why will such a position be given to an Igbo man ahead of a Yoruba person? We have seen that play out so many times. In our nation marked by tribalism and nepotism, this appointment made by Governor Alex Otti marks a commendable shift towards meritocracy and inclusivity. This shows that the governor is determined to build a unified and progressive Nigeria, where competence rather than ethnic origin dictate appointment to critical positions. It is worth commending considering that it is coming at a time when regional loyalty and favoritism frequently take precedence over capability. This appointment is a powerful testament to the reward of hard work, perseverance, and inclusive governance. When you look at the story of Mr. Benson, he started as a corps member from Edo State that was posted to Abia State in the 1990s. This reminds me about the reason why the National Youth Service Corps was created. The reason for the creation of the National Youth Service Corps was to harmonize our cultural diversity and help to bring Nigeria together in one umbrella. It was created to help solve the issue of tribalism, the issue of disunity. That is the reason why people from different states are posted into other states, so they can learn the cultural heritage inherent in that state. Even though many have been calling for the scrapping of the National Youth Service Corps because according to them, its purpose has been defeated, the appointment of Mr. Benson has somehow shown that we can utilize the purpose of this National Youth Service Corps for nation building and cultural integration of the Nigerian people. Mr. Benson was not rewarded because he's from Edo State. He was rewarded because of his exceptional service delivery, because of his diligence, and his consistent demonstration of competence. As a corps member posted in Abia State, he has steadily rose through the ranks, earning promotion based on merit. As it was stated in 2023 when Governor Alex Otti took over office, he recognized his potential and appointed him as acting permanent secretary. Mr. Benson exemplified his diligence in delivering exceptional service, as the role he was given prepared him for his most recent appointment as head of service, a position he earned by excelling in a rigorous selection process. By selecting the most competent candidate for this position, Governor Alex Otti has set a standard for what governance should look like in a truly democratic society. Yes, I set a standard because what we are practicing in Nigeria is not a standard of a true democratic society. For instance, when President Muhammadu Buhari was in power, all his appointment was based on tribalism and nepotism. Buhari ensured that he filled all the key government positions with his tribe men and associates. And of course, you saw how his government was characterized with incompetency. Nigeria experienced a downward trend in terms of development and economic boom under President Muhammadu Buhari. One would have expected that a successive government would have taken a cue from what President Muhammadu Buhari did and tried to do the opposite, because that did not help Nigeria for good. But no, Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in and did the exact thing that President Muhammadu Buhari did. He even did worse than what President Muhammadu Buhari did. Today, all the key government positions are being filled by Yoruba people. Not even that they are being filled by Yoruba people, they are being filled by incompetent Yoruba people, while we have many competent people lying waste that could have helped to fix the economy. Now look at how his government has gone so far. Nigeria has moved from bad to worse. The economy has stunk. Nigeria inflation has gone over the roof. The purchasing power of the people has been greatly reduced. There is insecurity in the land and there is no headway so far. There is no policies or anything to show that the economy is going to revamp anytime soon. You don't run a multicultural country like Nigeria in this kind of manner. In a time when we are struggling with the challenge of managing our cultural diversity, Governor Alex Otti stands out as the best to be emulated. Of course, everyone in this country should take a cue to what Governor Alex Otti did. Nigeria's strength lies in our culturalism. Rather than utilizing our diversity for the growth and prosperity of this nation, our diversity is often being exploited for political gains. This has led to deepening division and fostering mistrust among our people. The appointment of Mr. Benson serves as a practical example of how inclusivity can be a catalyst for unity and development. Inclusivity in leadership goes beyond mere representation. It involves creating an environment where the best mind, regardless of your background, can contribute meaningfully to governance. This approach does not only enhance productivity, but it also instills a sense of belonging among citizens. When people see that merit is rewarded over favoritism, they are more likely to feel invested in the success of their communities and the nation at large. Our country is the way it is because election, selection, appointments are being done based on favoritism and nepotism rather than on meritocracy. Meritocracy promotes national unity. It fosters a sense of belonging among all Nigerians. It reduces ethnic tension and promotes a spirit of unity. Meritocracy enhances productivity. When you give a competent leader the opportunity to lead, it leads to better decision making. It improves service delivery and overall development for everyone. Meritocracy reduces corruption. When you elect, select, or appoint people based on nepotism and favoritism, it often breeds corruption. Unqualified individuals lack the skill needed for effective governance. When they don't have the skill to do the right thing, they involve themselves in corruption. They involve themselves in trying to cut corners. They deliver poor services. But when everything is done based on merit, it reduces the likelihood of such practices. It promotes transparency and accountability. When election, selection, and appointment of individuals are done based on meritocracy, it inspires a sense of excellence. Things like this will motivate the citizens to strive for excellence. They know that their effort will be recognized and rewarded regardless of their background. This inspires a culture of hard work and integrity. And of course, as a democratic nation that we are, even though we don't practice democracy in the real sense of it, we only practice democracy by face value. This action is going to strengthen our democratic values. Everything I've mentioned so far is going to make Nigeria a better place. So why then do we choose to vote people based on tribalism, based on favoritism? Why then do we allow people who knows what to do to waste away? Why don't we give people that have the competence, that have the expertise to do the work, the ability to fix this country? Why are we punishing ourselves with bad leaders? This is a wake-up call for everyone. Tribalism, favoritism, we do no one any good. It has destroyed this country so far. And the more we keep practicing it, the more it keeps destroying this country. The more it keeps eroding trust among ourselves. We should put hands together and make sure that we fix this country. We should put hands together and make sure that only people who can do the work, only people who can deliver exceptional services are given the opportunity to lead in leadership position. Leadership is not a reward system. It is a system for service delivery. And only those that has the competency, that has the character, that has the antecedent, that has the expertise to do the work should be given the opportunity to do the work. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.